The Last Morning. Chapter 1. The Apartment on Fletcher Street. The radiator hasn't worked in 3 days. I can see my breath in the studio apartment, if you can even call it that. It's more like a box with a hot plate and a bathroom I share with the tweaker next door who pounds on the walls at 3 a.m. 72 years old, and this is what I've become. I used to have a house. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, a pool in the backyard. I used to wear Italian suits and Swiss watches. Used to have a corner office on the 37th floor where people called me, sir, and meant it. I was James freaking Whitmore, VP of Corporate Finance, and I thought I was untouchable. Turns out, you're very touchable when you ignore every piece of retirement advice you're given because you think the money will always flow. When you spend like there's no tomorrow. When tomorrow comes anyway. The heart attack at 64 was the first domino. Forced early retirement, reduced pension. I'd been so busy climbing that I never noticed I hadn't actually saved anything substantial. The investments I'd made on hot tips from golf buddies crashed. The lifestyle I couldn't let go of ate through what remained. The house went first. Then the car. Then the dignity. Now I'm eating dollar store pasta for the 4th night in a row. And my phone, the cheap burner I can barely afford to keep minutes on, hasn't rung in 6 weeks. Chapter 2. The Visit That Never Came. My daughter Sarah called 3 months ago. Not to talk to me. To tell me, Dad, I'm getting married in April. Mom's walking me down the aisle. What about me? A long silence. The kind that says everything. Dad, you were never there. Not for my graduation. Not for my college move-in. Not when Mom was sick with pneumonia and I had to leave work to take care of her. Because you were closing a deal. You sent money and called it love. Sarah, I was providing. You were absent. There's a difference. Look, you'll get an invitation because Mom insisted, but I don't expect you to come. I know you can't afford it anyway. She didn't say it cruelly. That was worse. She said it like stating a fact about the weather. The invitation came. Heavy cardstock, expensive. Sarah Whitmore and clinic director, Aaron Dawson. A garden wedding at some vineyard upstate. I looked at the train ticket prices and the cost of a decent suit, and I knew. I put the invitation on my makeshift nightstand, a cardboard box, and stared at it for hours. I didn't go. I couldn't. What would I wear? How would I explain what I'd become? On her wedding day, I sat in this freezing apartment and imagined her walking down the aisle on Catherine's arm. My ex-wife, who I'd treated like an accessory. Who I'd belittled at dinner parties. Who I'd told to handle the kids because I was busy being important. Catherine, who had every right to hate me. But only looked at me with tired disappointment when she signed the divorce papers 10 years ago. I hope you figure out what actually matters, James, she'd said. Before it's too late. My son Marcus called once, a year ago. Dad, Lily's starting kindergarten. Mom suggested I invite you to the ceremony, so you're invited. Marcus, that's wonderful. Of course don't bother. I'm calling because Mom made me. But I remember every soccer game you missed. Every school play you were too busy for. You think I want you meeting my daughter? You think I want her to learn that grandfathers are people who show up once and disappear for years? Son, I'm not your son. Not in any way that matters. Genetics doesn't make you a father. He hung up. I tried calling back 7 times. He blocked my number. Chapter 3. The Last Morning. It started 3 days ago. Pain in my chest. Nothing dramatic, just a persistent ache. I told myself it was heartburn from the cheap food. Yesterday it got worse. This morning, I woke up at 4 a.m. and knew. This is it. This is how it ends. I should go to the hospital. But the ambulance costs money I don't have. The ER bills would bury me, though I suppose that doesn't matter if I'm dead. The thought almost makes me laugh. Almost. I try to stand. The room spins. I collapse back onto the mattress on the floor. I sold the bed frame 8 months ago. My phone is across the room. Might as well be across the ocean. I try to crawl. The pain spreads like fire through my chest, down my arm. I make it 3 feet before I have to stop. Who would I even call? Sarah? She'd come. Despite everything, she'd come because that's who she is, nothing like me. But she'd arrived to find her father dead in squalor, and that would be my final gift to her. Trauma and guilt that she didn't do more for a man who never did anything for her. Marcus? He wouldn't answer. I'm blocked, remember? Catherine? God, the thought of her seeing me like this. The man who once told her she was overreacting about wanting to spend time together. The man who missed their 20th anniversary. Because of a conference that could have been rescheduled. She'd be kind, probably. That would be worse than anger. The building super? Who'll find me in a week when the smell gets bad? I lie there on the stained carpet, pain radiating through every nerve, and I think about my life. Really think about it. The promotions I chased. The deals I closed. The accolades I earned. I can't remember what half of them were for. But I remember Sarah's face at 8 years old, asking why I couldn't come to her dance recital. I remember Marcus's 6th birthday when I showed up 3 hours late, after he'd already blown out the candles and stopped crying. I remember Catherine setting dinner for 2, waiting, then 1. Then finally just eating alone because I was always 5 minutes away, and never showed up. All those years, I thought I was building something. I was just destroying the only things that mattered. The pain is getting worse. My vision tunnels. I think this is what I deserve. This exact ending. Alone. Forgotten. Unmissed. I want to scream, but I can't breathe enough to make sound. I want another chance, but there are no second chances in life. The darkness comes. And then I'm standing in my old kitchen. Chapter 4, October 15th, 10 years ago. I'm standing in my old kitchen. The kitchen with marble countertops and the espresso machine I never learned to use. Morning light streams through the windows. The calendar on the wall says October 15th. 10 years ago. My heart is pounding, but not from pain, from shock. I look down at my hands. Younger. No age spots. I'm wearing my Hugo Boss robe. My phone, my real phone. The iPhone I used to have is buzzing on the counter. Catherine walks in. Not old Catherine, tired and done. Young Catherine. Well, younger. 62. Her hair still has brown mixed with the gray. Are you going to answer that? She asks, and her voice is cool. Polite. The voice of someone who lives with a stranger. I stare at her. The divorce papers. We signed them. When? I grab my phone, check the date. October 15th. 2 weeks ago. No, wait, in this timeline, 2 weeks ago we signed the papers. The divorce is final, but we're still living in the same house until I move out next month. James? Are you feeling all right? You look like you've seen a ghost. My voice cracks. What day is it? Tuesday. October 15th. Are you sure you're okay? I sit down hard. It was a dream. The apartment, the poverty, the death on the floor. A dream. But it felt real. It feels real. I can still feel the cold of that radiator-less room. The pain in my chest. The crushing weight of dying alone. I had the worst nightmare, I whisper. Catherine pours herself coffee. Doesn't offer me any. Well, you're awake now. Don't forget, you're meeting with the realtor at 2 about that condo you wanted to look at. The condo. A bachelor pad downtown. I was excited about it. In the dream memory, I was excited about it. Freedom. No one to answer to. I don't want the condo. Catherine turns. What? I made a mistake. Catherine, I made so many mistakes. She sets down her mug carefully. James, we've been over this. We're divorced. It's done. You don't get to have a crisis now, and I know I don't get to undo it. I know I destroyed this marriage through 1,000 small acts of neglect and cruelty. I know that. But Sarah and Marcus, I can hear my voice breaking. I saw what happens if I don't change. I saw where I end up. Please. I need to call them. It's 7 in the morning. I don't care. I call Sarah first. She answers suspicious. Dad, what's wrong? Is Mom okay? She's fine. I just wanted to apologize. For what specifically? There's a lot to choose from. I deserve that. For not being there. For all the times I chose work over you. For making you feel like you weren't my priority when you were, or when you should have been, everything. Silence on the line. Then, Dad, where is this coming from? A wake-up call. Sarah, I know I can't fix the past. But I want to try to be better. I want to be in your life, if you'll let me. Actually in it. Dad, are you dying or something? I almost was. In a way. I take a breath. Can we have coffee, please? Just coffee. Let me start trying. Another long pause. Saturday. 10 a.m. There's a cafe near me. Don't be late. I won't be. I promise. Chapter 5, The Long Road Back. It's been 2 years since that morning. 2 years since the dream, nightmare, or whatever it was. That showed me my future and gave me the rarest gift, time to change it. I'm not going to lie and say everything is perfect. It's not. Catherine and I are not back together. That ship sailed, burned, and sank. But we're friends now. Real friends. We have lunch once a month. And she doesn't look at me with that exhausted disappointment anymore. Sometimes, she even laughs at my jokes. You're different, she told me last Christmas. I don't know what happened, but you're different. I got scared straight, I said. Sarah let me back in incrementally. Coffee became dinners. Dinners became me helping her move into her new apartment. That became me meeting Aaron, her boyfriend. And not saying a single word about him being a social worker instead of a doctor or lawyer. I learned to just listen. Last April, she got married. I wasn't the one who walked her down the aisle, that honor still went to Catherine, and rightfully so. But I was there. I sat in the third row and cried through the whole ceremony. And Sarah hugged me afterward and said, "Thanks for coming, Dad." Just that. But it meant everything. Marcus, my son, was harder. Is harder. He let me meet Lily on her 6th birthday. 6. I'd missed the first 6 years. I arrived with a present carefully chosen, not expensive, but thoughtful. A book set Catherine told me Lily loved. Lily opened it and looked up at me with suspicious eyes. Are you Grandpa James? I am. Mommy says you're trying really hard to be better. Out of the mouths of babes. I am trying. Really, really hard. Okay. But if you miss my birthday next year, I'm not giving you another chance. Marcus was watching from the doorway. When our eyes met, his expression was unreadable. Later, as I was leaving, he stopped me. Don't make promises you can't keep, he said. Not to her. I won't miss it. I swear. We'll see. But I didn't miss it. Lily turned 7, and I was there. And 8. And 9, just last month. I'm in her life now. Not a primary figure, that's Marcus and his wife and Catherine, as it should be. But I'm there. I'm present. I'm trying. Financially, I'm okay. Not wealthy, I'll never be that again, but stable. I downsized appropriately, worked as a consultant for a few years before fully retiring. I actually planned this time. Actually saved. I live in a modest apartment, a real one, with heat and a kitchen, and I don't need Italian suits to feel like I matter. The other day, Sarah called me just to talk. Not because she needed something. Just to share a story about her day. We talked for 40 minutes. 40 minutes with my daughter. About nothing important. About everything important. When we hung up, I sat in my small living room and cried. In that nightmare, I died alone on a floor, unmissed and unmourned. Crushed under the weight of a wasted life. That future is still possible, I suppose. I'm 66 now. I don't have decades left. But when I die, I really die, Sarah will be there. Marcus might be there. Lily will remember a grandfather who showed up. Catherine will remember that I finally learned. That's not redemption. I don't get redemption. The years I stole from them, the damage I did, that's permanent. Sarah still flinches sometimes when I cancel plans. Even though I haven't canceled on her in 2 years. Marcus still keeps me at arm's length. That's fair. That's the consequence I earned. But it's better. So much better than the alternative. I look at the calendar today, October 15th. 4 years since the dream. I mark it every year now. My second birthday. The day I woke up. The phone rings. It's Sarah. Hey Dad, are you free for dinner Thursday? Marcus said maybe we could all get together. All of us. He didn't say yes, exactly, but he didn't say no. My heart swells. I'm free. Absolutely free. Okay. I'll text you the details. And Dad, bring those pictures you mentioned. The ones from when Marcus and I were kids. I want Lily to see them. I will. After we hang up, I sit in the afternoon light and think about that dream. That horrible, beautiful, life-saving dream. Not all mistakes can be corrected. Some things, once broken, stay broken. Some people won't forgive you, and you have to live with that. The past can't be rewritten. But the future isn't set. And sometimes, rarely, miraculously. You wake up with just enough time to build something different than the ending you deserved. I'm not the father I should have been. But I'm trying to be the father I can be now. And my children know it. That's not everything. But God, it's so much more than nothing.